And it was cool because we ran into a couple people that watched the vlog.
Yeah. Oklahoma.
That were coming because Mike has a little retail side,
Yeah.
So he was, people came in and were like, oh my gosh,
we were gonna come yesterday.
Yeah, and here you guys were here today.
You know what the cowboy told me?
What's
The
that?
cowboy, he was just like, I might as well take a picture with you too, because how many pictures have a picture with Brian's son?
Oh my god.
And then I was just like, yeah, you're right. Let's go. And then we took a picture.
And he's just gonna post it, not Noah. It's not gonna be Noah. It's just be Brian.
Brian's son. I'm with Barczyk's son.
Brian with Barczyk's son.
Like, I'm a cowboy. It's so funny, like how there are people that dress up like fucking.
Well, I seen a dude.
He's a cowboy. I mean, they come from that's where
They're
cowboys
not
come.
Cowboys. Cowboys are.
But think about this. Think about
savages.
this. Think about think about this. If you grew up in Germany in some
What, you'd be a
Bavarian
Nazi?
town. No. You'd probably dress like a
Bavarian.
What
A
is,
Bavarian.
What is a Bavarian?
No, not a
dress like?
Balvarian.
Not
A Bavarian.
That's what he just said.
Balsamic vinegar or something. I don't know.
What do they dress like?
Like
Lederhosen.
lederhosen.
The little hat with the feather and.
Yo,
Yeah,
if you
even though
dress
they're-
like that, I'm literally giving you a wedgie. Right on the spot. I'm like, come over
I'm just
here.
saying, your heritage is cowboys. His great grandfather probably rode with Jesse
No.
James.
All right, but this doesn't
Probably
explain the
not.
dude in Wyoming that had spurs on
yeah,
in a
yeah,
truck.
yeah.
Because what are you doing? Does he have it
That
like?
was awesome.
He's whipping the truck.
Yeah, he's
That was
kicking the
awesome.
yeah. So.
He
Faster.
came out.
I
and it
like
was
people that
ching,
embrace
ching.
their heritage and their they live for
It's a noisy heritage. She
Yeah.
ding, she ding, she
You're
ding,
just
she
walking
ding,
around,
she
dude.
ding.
You're not sneaking anywhere, bro.
She ding, she ding, she ding.
You're
Dude,
getting
it's so
caught.
bad.
You're getting caught.
But Wilbanks was cool. I mean,
Beautiful
it was
place.
Cool place. I was happy.
That was
We're-
the first
we're
time I
gonna-
met him. He was a nice guy.
Nice dude, man.
And that was the
Yeah.
first time you went too, right?
I've known Mike for 25 years, but
Yeah.
that's the first time I've been to his place. I was a little bummed we were supposed to go to Bob Clark's place. I thought that would be amazing because he had giant snakes.
Why
And
didn't we go?
So Bob said that we were welcome there any other day, but we were there on election day.
We were.
Oh, yeah.
He's like 0%.
And he's like, I'm going to vote, and then I'm going home and watching TV all day. You're not allowed over.
Oh,
so,
man.
So that was a little bit of a bummer because I've known Bob, and I was going to tell the story to Bob. Do you
Which
remember?
story?
Do you remember when I told the story to Kevin about me meeting Kevin?
Yeah.
And he didn't remember.
Yeah.
Like how we met and stuff like that. Well, I was 18 years old, and I had done a similar trip that we just did. I mean, a little bit different. We drove to Phoenix through Colorado and stuff like that. It was for the IHS, which is the International Herp Symposium. And I was just a kid working at a pet shop. At the time I had a couple hundred snakes, but no one knew who I was.
Yeah.
Not one person outside the pet vendor knew who I was, right? And me and a couple friends drove out to this IHS because this was before reptile shows. So all the big names, legends in the business at that time, which weren't it wasn't a business. There was at that time, there was not one full-time reptile breeder in the world.
Really?
Not in the world. Not in the whole world.
So crazy.
And so all the big names in the business would come to the IHS, and it would move around from Phoenix. Sometimes it would be in Florida. Sometimes it'd be, each year it was in a different location. So I was 18, and it was a pretty big deal because what you would do is you would go, and in the hotels, all the people just keep their doors open, and they'd have all their snakes that they wanted to sell in their hotel room.
And you just go door to door?
You just go door to door, and you
Weird.
could buy snakes, you could trade snakes, you could do all kinds of crazy stuff. So, but it was happening, man. I mean, there's tons of seminars. All the big names had talks. It was just really an amazing experience.
That's cool.
And so we went to this like barbecue was one of the things.
Sounds
and it was
good.
2 like Greyhound buses full of people. That's how many people were at the IHS.
Yeah.
And myself and my friend Dennis, who went, sat right behind Bob Clark and a guy named Steve Osborne, who, again, are both legends. Bob and Steve. People don't know much about Steve Osborne anymore, but Bob is still in the game.
Yeah.
But Steve was just as big, at the time as anyone. He had a place called San Diego Reptile Breeders.
Okay.
And it was a giant company. He founded no Blockout. He was the first guy to do
Oh, wow.
Blockout. The 50-50 Cal Kings that we just filmed today.
Yeah.
That was his stick. I mean, he did lots and lots of things. So literally Steve and Bob were sitting in the seat right in front of us. So we were just like eavesdropping on on their conversation.
And were they big at that time too?
Well, they were like legends, even though they both worked jobs. You know, no one was
full time.
Full time. Bob probably quit his job relatively shortly thereafter because.
But when you seen him, you were like, oh my God, it's Bob Clark, right?
Like, yeah, of course.
Okay.
I mean, I was like, it was like seeing Ozzy Osbourne. You know? And so we were just sitting there and we're just like listening to their conversation. You know?
That's cool.
And every now and then we like, hey, we
try to like input. Yeah.
Yeah. But what was interesting is Bob literally at the end of the thing says, I told him, he had just started producing albino Burmese pythons, which was the first real investment snake in the world.
Yeah.
And they were $1,600 a piece. And I told, just before I left, I was saying I wanted to buy a pair. And so I brought it up to him, and he was like, why don't you come up to my hotel room? I'll show you what I've got. And so we literally were able to go up to his hotel room. He didn't touch my pee-pee or anything like that. It wasn't anything.
Were you
like
upset? Were you sad?
No, I was sad. No.
You're like, oh, Ozzy Osbourne touched my pee-pee.
No. He invited me. That was super cool. Showed me the Burmese pythons. It was my first time I'd ever seen in person an albino Burmese python.
Were you flipping?
And so I wanted to tell Bob that story.
Yeah.
Like what an impact he made on a kid. And the fact that, not many people, the one thing that sucked when I was 18, 19 years old was that no one took me serious.
Yeah.
Because everyone's like, it's just some fucking kid with some snakes.
Of course.
Even though I was like, I will be a big name in this business one day because that's what your intentions were. My intentions were. And so Bob was one of the few guys that literally didn't care that I was a long-haired, freaking 18-year-old kid. He invited me up because he saw like, hey, this guy's got passion and stuff like that. So I wanted to tell Bob that story.
Yeah, that's a huge one.
Because I guarantee he didn't remember that, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But it's just interesting how somebody's interaction can make that type of an impact on you.
You wouldn't even like, the person, meaning like Bob Clark, like I'm sure he would have done that to, any person,
it wasn't just me,
Yeah. And the fact that, like you said, like, I'm sure before that, like you had said that you were already going to be, some type of, big name in this industry. But I wouldn't doubt if that helped push you in a direction like, like he can take me seriously. The rest of these people will. You know?
No, it was like I said. It's. I mean, all these years later, it was a memory that I'll never ever forget. I mean, I remember everything. I remember the color of the bed sheets. In the room, and they were actually kind of a paisley color, like kind of old school hotel color, weird pattern, like kind of like
paisley pattern,
paisley pattern, stuff like that. And I remember the carpet was like a tan carpet. Yeah. There was like a brown dresser that the snakes were on. I remember every part of it.
I almost wish like I was there with you to see that because I'm sure your face lit up. Like when he said, come up to my hotel room and come check out these albino, like the first investment snake, you know, like you must have been flipping out.
I'm just glad he wasn't like, just have a little.
He's like,
Jesus
speaking
juice.
of albino snakes, what you got
Just
going on in them trousers, boy?
Have some of this Jesus juice before we start looking.
Dude, what the fuck is Jesus juice?
Didn't you hear about that? Michael Jackson used to give kids Jesus juice.
Jesus juice? Come on, man.
Got some Jesus juice.
Come on,
like you sleep over with Michael Jackson, he'd give you some Jesus juice.
I heard a lot of things about Michael Jackson.
What else did you hear about him?
I heard that like if you got touched by him, you were like the luckiest kid on earth.
Oh yeah,
because you could go back to school and tell everybody that like, hey, I got diddled by Michael Jackson.
I'm not sure that was something that people bragged about. But
I mean,
check this out.
If you were to get touched by somebody, he would be the man. I'm just saying. I'm gonna leave it at that.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
I agree with you.
But so we were gonna go to Bob Clark's, but unfortunately, election day happened. I'm assuming, judging by just a few things that we heard, he was not happy with the results.
I would assume not. I would assume somebody that's staying home to watch the election is probably not happy with the results of it for sure.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's the case. Mike is in the house.
Oh my boy!
Pow pow. He says, hey, guys, what's up, everyone? Happy belated Noah.
Birthday. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it.
Says, hope you all doing well. Anything particularly interesting happened you didn't happen to catch on camera while on the trip that sticks out?
Yeah, you know what he caught? You know what he caught? It was syphilis.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't? I thought you caught syphilis.
Wait, what was it then? Was it the
Miguel
cloud?
tried to get me to catch syphilis.
He was trying to catch
He was trying to
He
get
had this
you.
like little person stripper, and she was
Are you
waving
for real?
around. Yeah, it came out the fucking limo, dude. And it was like two little people. They were like, ooh, ooh.
Dude.
And I was just like, whoa, I can smell the syphilis.
I'm out.
I'm done with
I'm
this.
out. And then you went to bed. You went to bed early. You were like,
Yeah.
it's 11. I got to go.
I know. Miguel was like, dude, they got a pill for it.
I thought I saw him hand the room number to the one little one.
To the one little one? The one with the brunette?
Yeah, the brunette one, yeah.
Can we skip this?
So anyway, you almost got murdered by a tree when we were using our tree apparatus.
that's
That
what it
wasn't on
was.
Yeah, that
camera.
was a good one.
We
man.
were slacklining in
How
Yellowstone.
did we not catch that on film,
Dude,
damn it?
and the thing is like I was just filming with the drone. Like I was
Yeah.
bringing the drone down and
As it's
filming, and then it like went down. I turned the drone off, and then, like you said, they were slacklining,
Yeah.
so you have to tie off the 2 trees.
You have 2
Yeah.
trees,
And
and Anthony
Anthony
decides to tie to a dead tree.
Yeah, one half of the
And
apparatus.
Brian goes and sits down on it, and like boom.
The tree literally almost falls onto me. It really brushed my arm because I
saw
stopped. No, it was like, watch out. I stopped. I looked at, because I learned this
Yeah.
lumberjack. I watch a lot of lumberjack stuff.
Do
right?
you? Okay,
like,
that's good.
Who doesn't, right?
of
But
course.
you're always supposed to look and then decide which way to go. Because if the tree is falling at 20 degrees and you're running in that direction,
You're gonna get
now you
hit.
just ran into the tree. So I stopped. I don't know. It was just instinct. I looked. I go, okay, the tree's falling this way. I started to run away from the tree,
Yeah.
and it just skimmed my arm as it hit the ground.
Well,
was
now
pretty
you can
crazy.
tell Lori that watching all these like crazy videos before you do something is actually
It's smart.
good.
Like,
It
I
is
mean, if I
smart.
didn't watch all those lumberjack things, you know,
You could have been a dead
got
man.
I'd be dead.
You'd be dead right now.
I'd be
You would
dead.
have at least had a mild concussion.
So, but we did. So let's back up on this story for a second, because I think people would like to hear the whole story. Is that so? We obviously went to Yellowstone.
Yes.
Yellowstone
tried as best.
Yeah, it was closed.
Yeah.
No shit, Sherlock.
No shit, Sherlock.
Yeah, but so Yellowstone was closed, but we were able to like go on the outskirts, and we're kind of going in and out of the park,
Yeah.
just not through the entranceway. You're still in the Yellowstone Park, and so we decided to just like find a place to chill for a couple hours, just to kind of enjoy the
Enjoy
beauty
the
of it.
sunset
Yeah.
and just let the light die away in a beautiful place, right?
So we pull up into like a little RV thing on the river.
yeah.
Beautiful environment,
really
beautiful.
So pretty.
And there's no one there except for one RV. And as we pull up, the person walks out of the RV and says, "Hey, listen, the owners aren't here.
And the place is closed to
Yes,
renovations, right?
Closed for renovations,
Yeah.
but I'm friends with the owner." And I said, "Well, listen, I want to be here for like 2 hours till
Yeah.
sunset. I'll pay you to sit here for 2 hours till sunset." And she's like, "No, you don't need to pay us. Just go ahead, hang out, have a good time."
Thank you.
Yeah.
And so then we proceeded to rip down trees.
Yeah. And then Brian's like, they're going to come out here and be like, yeah, I don't know. They had this tree apparatus. And I don't know why, but it made me laugh so hard to hear tree apparatus in the same
Dude.
sentence. And
So we busted down the trees.
So we busted down the
and then
trees.
we had to fucking get together and get the tree out of there.
Yeah, throw
we
it
had to
into
lay
the
right-
Yeah, we
river.
drag the tree across the We throw it into the
We
river.
threw that shit.
and then go swimming in the river.
Oh
Then
my
I had the
God.
crazy idea, because I've been doing cold tub
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
I had the crazy idea, like, hey, let's go.
Do a real cold tub.
Let's do a real thing. I mean, it's 19 degrees outside. Let's get naked, basically, down to our skibbies,
Down our
and,
skibbies.
and
Jump
jump
in.
in the river. You know,
So Anthony, you and I.
yeah, jumped in the river.
Yeah.
Jay had a gimpy leg.
Yeah,
I do.
He had a.
The little person tripped him coming out of the limo.
Yeah.
that stupid bitch.
That little bitch tripped him.
And then the best part though was you guys get done with the cold tub,
Yeah,
right?
cold
And then
river.
cold river. And Brian's like, all I hear him going, gotta get to the RV, gotta get to the RV. And I'm like, bro, you need to put clothes on. He's like, gotta get to the RV. And he just starts taking off. I'm like,
It
oh
was a
no.
mistake. So
That was a
I
bad
was like,
choice.
should I get dressed in the edge of the river?
Yes.
Yes.
Because I'm like, my clothes are going to be wet, or do I just get to the RV and
No.
get in the RV? About halfway to the RV, because I had to climb up like 2 big hills.
2 big hills. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm now literally like, my feet are frozen, like my whole body is frozen.
Yeah.
About halfway to the RV, I was like, fuck, I made a mistake,
A big
man.
one.
I should have at least put socks and shoes on,
Yeah.
minimum. And but at that point, I was committed. I wasn't going to go back
You
to the
can't.
river.
Well, you're already halfway. It's
Yeah,
like
I'm
that dumb
like-
blonde joke. It's
yeah,
like just go the rest
it's
of the
gonna
way.
be- it's-
I'm not
yeah.
gonna lie. When I was halfway back, I put my clothes on. I had pretty much everything on my body.
Yeah.
I couldn't feel my feet past my
feet, yeah.
ankles.
Yeah, the feet were the worst part.
When I was running, I was just like, I know I'm moving, but like I could roll an ankle, I could do anything. I can't feel my feet.
No,
it
your
was
feet was-
it
yeah.
was scary. I'm not joking. I was just like, I might have
Frostbite.
that frostbite shit.
I might
that they
frostbite
tell you
hit her,
about.
bro.
That sucks.
But the thing was funny is after we had the tree apparatus and broke down the tree,
Yeah.
we're screaming naked in the
and
river.
running naked to an RV. Like,
And I'm just thinking, this poor lady that's like, nah, you guys can hang out here for
you
free.
seem like nice folk.
like nice
Like,
folks.
ripping down
been
trees,
breaking down your whole fucking backyard,
running around naked.
flying drones. Yeah, it was.
It was.
It was awesome though, man. And I mean, we got to see a live wild mooses.
Yeah,
Three.
meese.
3 mice.
I think they call meese.
Three
One
mice.
mooses, 3 mice.
3 mices.
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
And that
Not
was
ISIS. We didn't see ISIS.
not ISIS, just mices.
No, there's no ISIS in Montana or Wyoming.
There's barely people in
Not
Montana.
yet.
Not yet.
But that was crazy. I had never even seen a moose in captivity, let
Yeah.
alone in the wild, and it was.
I did have a
super
wildlife
special.
biologist, by the way, commented. Did you see the comment?
No, tell
No.
me about it.
So he basically said, wow, that's amazing, great thing. He goes, I will say, I'm a little disappointed you guys used a drone because, shooting long lens, fine. He said, but to scare those animals like that, he said, as a wildlife biologist that I've done this my whole life, he said, I would never have made that decision. So
Yeah, but how do you think Nat Geo getting the shots? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like they're not
We
listening to that
but
biologist.
We're joking around. I mean, and complete joke.
Yeah,
don't,
yeah,
don't
yeah,
even
yeah.
take this serious. But we said wouldn't it? We scare the moose that are in the middle of the river, and then they run out. They get attacked by a pack of wolves.
All my fault. All my fault. Or they
And
get
then
hit by a car.
and then the one moose runs away, and then a car comes and crashes into the moose.
The person in the car dies.
Yeah,
the moose
moose
dies. All my fault.
Yep, the wolves go hungry.
That's the
because they didn't-
butterfly
yeah,
effect.
yeah,
But I guess
exactly.
it's the drone effect at that point.
Yeah.
right?
Speaking of hitting a moose by a car, we almost destroyed
Yeah.
a deer
Oh
on
my
our
gosh.
road trip as well.
Well, yeah.
Somebody asked if we ran into any deer, but I think they meant did you see any? And we were like, no, quite literally, just almost
almost
smacked a
ran,
deer.
yeah.
I made eye contact with the deer
Yeah.
while
Well,
it
what
was jumping
happened-
across the road. I was like, "Wow!"
Well, what happened was I was driving. In what state?
Me and
was
you
that
were
in?
talking. It was
There was
It was Wyoming or
between-
Idaho or something.
Yeah,
it was
like that.
between
yeah.
I think either Utah and Idaho or between Idaho and
South Dakota.
Wyoming, maybe.
Yeah,
or-
maybe something like Montana,
somewhere in that
something
area.
like that. so
Wyoming,
I had
South
seen
Dakota.
while we're driving, I see 4 or 5 deer across the road
Yeah.
in advance, and
On
I'm
the
like,
right
take
side.
a look at it, man.
Like me
They
and
just
you were
ran-
talking, yeah.
I'm like, take a look at that, and then to the left, there's one lonely deer, I got to get going here, and just walks right in front of us, and if I didn't have pretty decent responses, we would have crushed that fucking deer.
Dude,
It
and
would have been
that-
bad.
We
yeah,
had
because
deer
that would
jerky.
we were going pretty quick, so we would
Yeah.
have splattered that deer and probably
Yeah.
messed up our RV a little bit.
Well, that was the thing I was the most worried about, in this trip as a whole is
Hitting deer?
just hitting anything,
Anything.
Yeah.
in an RV, what
Yeah.
do we do if we're in the middle of freaking Wyoming
Hit
or
a moose.
Montana and we crush something and now we're on the side of the road with a broken down vehicle that, it's 18 degrees outside and,
and that
Use
gets
that-
scary quick. I've been
Use
there.
that generator.
Yeah, and
but
I've
we only got 18 hours and we die.
No, we got Anthony. That guy knows everything.
he knows some forest stuff.
What we'd have to do is send Anthony off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
to
definitely.
get help, and we'll eat
Stay warm.
yeah, because
We'll
we
eat the
got
beef jerky.
we got beef jerky, we
beef
got
jerky.
all the drinks.
Yeah,
We got,
all right, man,
we had
yeah.
freaking
We'll see you in a little bit.
Long Island iced tea.
Yeah.
So we stay warm. We had a couple bottles of wine. I mean, we would be good.
Yeah, because we can
Anthony-
also use the Long Island iced tea, probably light a little fire too, dude. You can
Yeah,
probably
we
get a little
bought
alcohol.
wood.
We had 3 blankets and a bed. So
I mean, you have a rhinoceros pelt as a blanket. That's just
that's
heavy,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
That's a
So-
weight. That's what they call a weighted blanket.
Yeah,
so
I
we can
know.
Just
Stay
for those,
warm.
yeah, so you can stay warm and feel hugged. Yeah.
So it's so heavy. I had to carry that shit to the back the first day, and
Oh,
I was
I know.
like, this is unbelievable.
I know. I had to carry it upstairs. When
When you got home, yeah, it
Yeah, I
probably
was
took
like,
you a few
"Oh,
hours
shit, this is horrible. I had to make 3 trips to break.
just for the one
Yeah,
blanket.
just for the one blanket before I could get home.
Dude, that's the most uncomfortable thing in the world.
Yeah, it's
I
like
mean,
being
it's so
suffocated.
bad.
It's like me sleeping on Noah. Like,
It's
that's-
so bad. It's like you feel so trapped. You're like, fuck.
I love weighted blankets, man.
Do
Because
you?
I had a less weighted blanket.
Okay.
Like about half that. And I bought the heavier one because I like the heavier one even better.
So you sleep with that every night?
Every night, man.
Yeah, it's so
I can't sleep. Like, it was hard for me to sleep in hotels with this little wimpy blanket.
Yeah, because you
You
probably
know-
think you're gonna fall out of bed, dude. That thing's like
something
strapping you
holding you.
down.
I need something to hold me down, man. But no, it was good. But it's
How much
Yeah.
does that weigh?
I think it's
80?
like no, I think it's
50?
like 40, 50 pounds, something like
That's
that.
a lot of weight.
For a blanket that's normally what, maybe 5 pounds, 10
No,
pounds?
dude, like 3.
No, like a nice down blanket's probably like
Yeah.
5-10 pounds, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
But 45-pound blanket, dude, that's crazy. I'm just gonna get a weight and put it on your chest while you're sleeping, bro. That's
and
crazy.
you wonder why you had fucking sleep paralysis. You were really stuck.
You're
You
actually
couldn't- you couldn't-
paralyzed.
you really-
You were wide awake.
You're like, fuck.
And that black mass was your brain shutting off from lack of oxygen because your
Yeah,
lungs can't
your
open up.
lungs couldn't fucking vacuum like they're supposed to.
I love that damn thing, man.